It is official. I am a married woman. Today, I wanted to sit down and have a little chit chat with you guys to talk about my wedding because, to be honest, I feel like this isn't like the typical thing that I would share online. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sit down and talk about it because I know some people are interested and maybe it's something I can reflect and look back at later in life. So, we're going to do a fun little chit chat video talking about my wedding weekend and my wedding day. So, get ready because we're diving into today's video. So, I was thinking about the flow of how I wanted to talk about everything, and I figured I can start off by talking about like the elements of my wedding, what the like colors were, the flowers, all that stuff, and then I'll go more into like the timeline of the day and all that stuff. As you can see in my little setup right here, I had some fun decorating my little set. You'll see the color theme is really like an orange. I really liked orange, burnt orange, terracotta, light brown. This is a little posy is what they're called for the bridesmaids. This was what they were holding. My bouquet was a little bit, well, it was quite large compared to this one. I actually have it drying right now because I'm going to save it and put it in a shadow box. But this is, in essence, kind of like the florals of the wedding, which I would love to share all my vendors in the description box down below. My flowers were from Prism Florals. Karen is amazing, and she did a perfect job for my wedding. But yes, orange was definitely like the vibe, the color. All my bridesmaids wore like different shades of orange, which I really liked. Throughout this, I'm going to show some pictures and videos. I tried to vlog, but to be honest, I kind of didn't expect to be, why didn't I expect this? I was just so busy and like honestly had so much anxiety, like being in Palm Springs and doing all the coordination that I didn't like film as much as I thought I would with my vlog camera, but I will show what I did vlog. I also had crystals. That was a theme for the wedding. I had these huge selenite towers that were on the tables. I also had little small rose quartz, which I told everyone, I was like, just put these wherever you can. Like, I want rose quartz to be everywhere. So we had them at different spots on different tables and stuff like that. The venue, I was obsessed. Scott and I were like so obsessed with our venue. We got married at the O'Donnell House in Palm Springs, downtown Palm Springs. I believe it's a historic landmark in Palm Springs. It has this really cool history to it. A lot of like, I think like starlets and just old Hollywood people would go there and hang out. I don't know like the whole history of it, but it was just like a really cool house. It was built a very long time ago. It has a beautiful view of Palm Springs. It's up on a mountain. So during the wedding, we had our guests get on golf carts and they drove up this hill to the house, which was kind of fun. It kind of felt like you were going on like a ride at Disneyland. That's what it felt like for me, at least. So that was like a fun element, was like getting to the venue. My venue was all outdoor. It was a house where there was some parts where you could be inside, but it was mostly all outdoors. Our ceremony was outside. The reception was outside. So the one thing that we couldn't control was the weather, which we were pretty nervous about. Thank God it was beautiful that day. There was no rain or anything like that. It was pretty much blue skies, which I was so happy about. Another really unique and fun element about our wedding that was a little bit different was we decided to have an aura photo booth. Traditionally a lot of weddings will have a photo booth, right? People take their photo, and I'm so happy and honestly so lucky that there's actually a studio out in Palm Springs called Soul Glow that does this. They offer aura photography and they do events. I met Angelina the day before with Scott, and we actually took our aura photo before the wedding, and then we also took our aura photo during the wedding. I have right here the little packet that has our pictures in it. I'll also show some pictures right now so you could see like our auras basically. Both days, my aura was pretty red, which it was explained to me that I was really in like go mode. I was like in my divine masculine. I was very like action oriented, which made a lot of sense. When I did my aura photo, I think it was like 2 years ago, I also had a red aura. So I do really feel like red, it's one of my favorite colors. And I feel like red is always like this prominent color in my life. So I wasn't surprised to see so much red in my aura. But what I loved is that a lot of people that were guests at my wedding, you know, they aren't as like spiritually minded as myself. So this was something that I think they really enjoyed, especially when they're not like super into that kind of stuff. Like they enjoyed listening to the readings. A lot of people told me how accurate their reading was. Honestly, if you're ever in Palm Springs, I definitely recommend going to Soul Glow. They're amazing, and you'll love your pictures. Like I'm so happy we did this, and it's so cute and fun. So definitely go check them out. So those are really all kind of like the basic elements, I would say, of the wedding, or just like the themes that went on. I would love to now take you on a little journey of my day to day, or my timeline of going to Palm Springs and what happened and all that stuff. Really just like a casual chat of what the wedding weekend was like. Again, I did do some vlog footage, so I'll put it in when I can. I also have my phone with me, so I might be looking at my phone to remember everything. So our wedding was on Saturday, December 2nd in Palm Springs. So we left LA on Thursday morning. We drove out to Palm Springs and we had a few appointments that day. We were going to meet with the aura photographer to take our picture. And then we were also going to meet with our DJ. We were super excited to talk to him because music was definitely something that we wanted to feel like us. And we also really liked our DJ. We could tell he was just so talented and we knew he was going to throw like the best party ever. So we were super excited for that. Some of our family arrived on Thursday, like our immediate family, like our parents, our siblings were there on Thursday, and then the rest of our families pretty much came on Friday. After our appointments on Thursday, meeting with the aura photographer and chatting with our DJ, I was recommended to check out this one bar called Booze Hounds in Palm Springs. And I'm so glad that someone mentioned this to me because Booze Hounds is so cool. We went there to meet just like our families that were in on that day. I was like, if anyone's here, like, let's go to Booze Hounds, let's get a drink. So we went to Booze Hounds, we had a drink, we chatted with everyone, and it was just really nice. It was really fun and really cool. And we had a pretty chill night that night. Waking up on Friday morning, I think that's when Scott and I were like, okay, we're really doing this. Like it was our rehearsal dinner day and just our rehearsal day at the venue. So we were kind of nervous. I was definitely nervous. It's so funny how you just have this like kind of like anxiety like leading up to your wedding day. And it felt like it was really heightened on Friday. We woke up and I think we went to lunch. My family had come in, so we met them for lunch at the Ace Hotel at Kings Highway. It was really nice. Their food was really good. They had really good drinks too. So we said hi to everybody. We checked in to our hotel, and then we made our way to the O'Donnell house to do our dress rehearsal. The dress rehearsal went well. It was a little chaotic, and I'm sure every bride and groom feels like it just feels a little chaotic when you're practicing. And I was so nervous. I didn't want to mess up. Part of me walking down the aisle, I should say, was I had to go down some stairs. So I like opened this door and I go down some stairs. So I was like, I hope I don't fall. I wore heels to practice, so I felt comfortable walking down the stairs in heels, but I did a good job. We met with my coordinator. She was so nice, and it was great meeting her in person because we'd been talking for so many months. So it was really good seeing her. After that, we went back to our room. We got ready for our rehearsal dinner. We had our rehearsal dinner at Desert Willows Golf Course. It was beautiful. The sun had set by the time we got there, but the room we were in was so nice. And the food there was so good. If you ever get a chance to golf there, if you're a golfer, definitely check out their food because it's really, really good. But it was really fun to see everyone and have like our first kind of like, event for the wedding. My in-laws surprised me and Scott with a game, which was really funny. We sat back to back, me and Scott, and we had two signs with our faces on them, and they asked us questions, and we would like say who was the most like likely in that scenario or whatever. So that was really fun, and I liked that element. And then after the rehearsal dinner, Scott and I separated because we were not going to see each other for the rest of the night. I went off with my family. We went to the casino to watch the Oregon game, and I think he went off and I don't know what he did, to be honest. He had some fun with his family. And then we went to our own, rooms. I was by myself. I was with my family, and then I was in my room, and I did a little ritual. I wanted to kind of have my last night as Courtney Caritas. I lit a black candle and I did a release. And when I woke up, I lit a white candle, and it was my wedding day, and I was so excited. I love that I incorporated some ritual elements because, that's just who I am. So that was fun. When you're in a hotel room and you need to burn a candle, what I discovered is you could use the bottom of a glass, like a drinking glass. So I flipped the glass over and I burned the bottom of the candle to it, and I lit it, set my intention, and I felt really good. Morning of, I actually was pretty calm. I felt like I was really centered, and my hair and makeup girl came, and she was so nice. She was amazing. We did my hair and makeup, and she was really fast too. I feel like it only took her, I think it was less than 2 hours, and my hair and makeup was done. All my bridesmaids were getting ready. They did their own hair and makeup. They did a great job. Everyone looked so good. And we shuttled over to the venue at 12, and the day really started once we got there. It was very go, go, go. I met with my photographer and her assistant. We talked about the shots we wanted to get. We did, the getting ready photos. I had these orange robes that all my bridesmaids were wearing. I was wearing a white robe. We took those photos. That was great. And then everyone got dressed into their formal outfits. Around that time, that's when Scott arrived with his groomsmen, and I was so excited. I didn't want to see him or anything like that, so we made sure to not look out the window or anything like that. We were very hyper aware of not seeing each other. We took some time to take some pictures outside, just with our bridesmaids and with our groomsmen, because the sun was going to be setting behind the mountain, because where we were getting married, we had a beautiful mountain behind us, so the sun went behind it around 3 o'clock, and our ceremony started at 3:30. So we took advantage of the light. We took those photos then, and shortly after, it was 3 o'clock, guests were arriving, we were all tucked away, and my heart was beating so fast. We were getting closer and closer to the start time. And I remember minutes before I had to open the door, my heart was racing so fast. My adrenaline was going. And I'd always thought that when I was going to walk down the aisle, I was going to be sobbing and crying. But honestly, my adrenaline was really taking over. And when it was time for me to open the door and walk down the stairs, I was just focusing on taking one step at a time, going down the stairs. I wasn't looking at anybody. I was literally just focusing on the stairs. I made it to the bottom. I saw my dad. He gave me my flowers, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to do this. And then I literally looked, and I saw Scott, and I was just smiling, no tears. I was so shocked because I really did think I was going to be bawling. And I got up there. We did our ceremony. We said our vows. And I think I did a pretty good job. I don't think I messed up. I practiced my vows the night before, and it was just beautiful hearing what he had to say, and our officiant did a great job, and we walked out to our song, and it was just such a beautiful ceremony. Everything was just perfect, and I felt so good. After the ceremony, we had 10 minutes to ourselves. We kind of recollected our energy. We're okay, we got to take pictures now. So we took photos for about an hour after the ceremony while everyone was doing cocktail hour. And everything else that followed was really just a wedding. We came out, we had our first dance. We each danced with a parent, my dad, his mom, and we had dinner. It was just a great evening. We didn't have too many guests. I think we were under 80. It was probably around 75, 76 guests. So it wasn't a super big wedding. We were able to talk to everyone during dinner. We came to every table and talked to our guests. So that was really nice. We danced. We took our aura photos. It was just a great night. We had our wedding end at 9 p.m. We were going to do an after party after. So at 9 o'clock, everyone shuttled down and we met at the Rowan, which is a really nice hotel in downtown Palm Springs. They have this rooftop bar. And I changed into a different outfit, which I'll show. It was a really amazing blazer dress. I wore these like sparkly fishnet pants. I was like obsessed. I was so happy to change into it because I felt so fresh in that outfit. And we just continued to celebrate with family and friends and chat. It was so nice being at like an after party because you just like have this feeling of like, I did it. Like it felt like, okay, like I don't have to like stress out about anything anymore. Like it just felt so good to be like at that like second like place to just have a drink and stuff. And then me and Scott and a few friends walked back to our hotel and we got a late night snack and we really went to bed and that was it. We woke up in the morning, got coffee and met with a few family friends. And that day on Sunday, we were just reminiscing on the night before, everything that happened. It's so funny. Like after you get married, you and your partner, all you talk about is like your wedding. And we loved reliving it and like talking about things and talking about how we were separated, like how we were feeling by ourselves. It was just so special. And I couldn't have asked for like a better wedding, to be honest. I'm like over the moon with how everything turned out. And I just felt so good. And, you know, it's funny, I didn't know like after a wedding, like coming home this past week, it's been, you know, I got married like a week ago basically. And it wasn't until like Thursday or Friday, I actually kind of felt a little sad. I didn't know that was a thing. I was like, wow, this is over. Like this part of my life, I've been planning this day for like the last year and a half. Like it's done. Like it's so crazy. But it also feels so good at the same time. One last thing I wanted to talk about before I sign off here on my little wedding chit chat was something that I thought was really interesting. So at the beginning of 2023, I always do like a New Year tarot spread to see like the year ahead. And I remember in 2023, my final outcome card was the Six of Swords, which the Six of Swords card shows two people on a boat and they're kind of shrugging. They're not looking, you don't see their faces, you see their backs, and there's six swords in the boat. And when I saw that card at the beginning of the year, I was like, this looks kind of sad. Like, obviously, like they're on a boat and they're leaving some kind of situation. And to me, I felt like there was like a sorrowness or just something like somber going on in that tarot card meaning. And it wasn't until like a few days ago, I really realized like how that makes so much sense for me right now. Cause as I'm leaving 2023, right? Like I've gone through so much change. Like I'm leaving like this older version of myself. I'm stepping into a new chapter. Do I feel a little sad about that? Yes, but I'm also really excited. So it was just like a lesson to learn. Like when you are pulling tarot and you kind of think like, oh, is this going to make me feel sad? Like you kind of are maybe taking a negative connotation to the card. Always like remember that like not to put pressure on it or to feel like it's going to be something bad, because I see the symbolism of that card in this moment right now so clearly. It makes so much sense to me and it's so accurate. Like it's totally the Six of Swords going on in my life right now as I'm entering into 2024. So I just wanted to share that with you, like that really cool kind of like finding I just realized about the wedding and honestly the end of this year. And with that, I'm so excited for this next year ahead of us. I have a really awesome plan for some content that I'm going to be putting out. I'm really excited for my 2024 content, so stay tuned for that. I hope that you enjoyed listening to my little wedding chit chat. Again, it was amazing and so awesome. And yeah. Thanks guys so much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up. Thanks for hanging out and I will see you in my next one.